Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, this is a good thing. Basically, Mattel has put the brakes on their Snake's Lair crowdfunder thing. I don't know if they started it and they didn't get any support, or if they just knew that support wasn't coming and didn't start it. I'm unclear about that. But they've basically put out an announcement, and it's about the Masters Universe Snake Lair from Mattel Creations. It says update on Eternia's Choice, because they had this thing where basically they put up a bunch of play sets, including 2 vehicles, and they gave fans a choice of what they wanted next, and people chose the Snake Lair because it looked awesome. It looked like a solid clamshell playset in the spirit of the original Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain, but better than what we got with Hordak and the Fright Zone for the Snake Men, essentially a castle for the Snake Men, and it looked awesome. I wanted it. I thought, ooh, imagine if they could just continue making, these toys in the spirit and style of the originals, like they have been with Origins, and make things like Snake Lair, which is a new thing. So people voted on it, and there was artwork. It looked great. And then they showed a prototype, and it was totally different. They had basically blown it up and expanded it and turned it into this multi-part thing for a vehicle that was attached, and it just became a mess. It became... They basically wanted it to be another Eternia, and no one wanted another Eternia. They had Eternia, it cost enough, it took up enough space. No one wanted another Eternia, but they wanted, I guess, to sell something on that level. So they over-designed it, they blew it up, they put too many things to it, they made it too big, and it just became this complicated mess of a set where, unlike the original Charm, where it was just the clamshell, a solid piece that you could use, this just feels like different accessories and vehicles put together, and it just feels like it's more complicated, more parts, more joints. It's just nothing about it worked for me. It was too crowded. They had like 5 snakes. It was just a mess. So fans had a hissy fit over it, or were very disappointed and basically weren't supporting it. So they put out this announcement. It says, "Dear MOTU fan, Motu fan, Master Universe fan, Eternia has been buzzing since we unveiled the Snake Lair at San Diego Comic-Con. Some of you loved it, some of you did not. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we want to get this right. To do so, we are postponing the launch of our crowdfund to incorporate your feedback. We believe in Snake Lair. We know you do too, because you voted it Eternia's Choice last year. Snake Lair will be back and better than ever. Stay tuned for details. Thank you for your patience and understanding, the Mattel Creations team." So they've gone back to the drawing board, because, God, they actually listened to the fans. They actually listened to the fans who said, no, we don't want this. God, no. Give us that. That's what we voted on. That's what we want, but in plastic form, real. So this is a good thing, because had they just said, well, no, this is what we've done, this is what we've designed, this is what we want to do, this is what we want to release, you will buy it. Fans would have been like, no, I'm going to buy that thing I want and that thing I want. I'm not going to buy this just because what we promised that we'd buy the other one, so we have to buy this one. No. So, yeah, so I hope they actually go back and totally change it and take it back to the original design, where it's basically just a clamshell design with the snake head on one and the entrance on the bottom part, and then the back is just another entrance and a stairwell and another snake, and just basically have the inside, the internal parts the same as the outside, which was the more impressive part, was the internal part, and just take away that complicated multi sort of walled. It's just like the Castle Grayskull from the 2002 series. It never worked. They had 3 walls. They were half little walls. When you folded it up, it was just like a flat thing that would fall over. It didn't have that clamshell feeling of it's a castle, because when you close them up, when they're open, they're obviously a play space, a play set. When you close them, they're still like this, fort or house or like dollhouse sort of building, like this thing. So it has its own sort of function, I guess. I don't know. They just work, and that's the sort of the iconic sort of image, the Castle Grayskull, Snake Mountain sort of play sets, and they just needed to stay to that and just give us one for the Snake Men, and give us another one for the Horde, you know, the actual Horde Tower, whatever it was, instead of, well, we have the Fright Zone as well, because we're eventually, if they keep doing Masters of the Universe Origins, they're going to eventually do all this stuff, and we will get new versions of the things we had, and then things we never had, and that's the way it should be. So I'm just happy to report this. I'm happy to talk about this. I'm glad to see that they actually listened instead of just pushing through and just then being shocked and surprised when it wasn't supported. They're actually just, hopefully it's not just, you know, trying to score points, and then they're just going to try and sell us the exact same thing with, like, maybe they remove the vehicle and make that, you know, sold separately. If they don't really make any real change, it's not really going to work, but potentially they're going to, and I just want to talk about it for a minute. So feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the whole Snake Lair debacle.